Welcome back, everybody, to the CloudZeroSports podcast. We are thrilled to be providing another episode for our faithful listeners. I am here with the amazing Antonio Delaguzzo and the man who runs the CloudZero Sportsbook, Austin Mueller. How are we doing tonight, gentlemen?
Fantastic.
Amazing.
I am thrilled to hear that, boys. We got a great episode today. Sweet 16's on the way in March Madness. A lot of huge games happening this past weekend, and we're going to break it down all for you here on the CloudZeroSports podcast. Where should we start, gentlemen? I think Duke and Oral Roberts and the Duke Tennessee game is a good place to start. Yeah.
Anyone who thought Oral Roberts would beat Duke, come see me because we have a long discussion. I don't know how there was any hype going into that game. Austin, correct me if I'm wrong. The line kept on dropping and dropping. Everyone was buying into the Oral Roberts hype just for them to get smacked.
That's what I'm saying.
That's terrible. And then I was I'm going to look like a buffoon on the last podcast. I said Duke was winning it all. Don't trust momentum anymore, ladies and gentlemen. Do not trust momentum because when you have a 7'3" center who can't score a bucket for you in a whole game, don't trust it.
That's what I'm saying.
And not to mention, the Tennessee had 4 returning seniors versus Duke's 4 freshmen. And in hindsight, I don't know why I didn't consider that more. Because it's not like these freshmen that Duke have are Zion and RJ Barrett and Jason Tatum and Kyrie Irving. Like Tyrese Proctor's great and all. Don't get me wrong, but
they're not physically inclined as the other guys were.
It's not the same exactly. So hindsight's always 20/20. I think that Duke. Do you think these guys are going to stay? How many of the 4 do you think they stay?
Well, I can already tell you this: Ryan Young is coming back for one more year. Apparently, I don't know how, but he is. The Becca native, man.
What about Whitehead? What do you think he does?
I personally think he goes up to the draft. I mean, out of all the guys from that freshman roster, yeah, he was hurt for majority of the year, but he has the most NBA ready game per se. I mean, he's 3-and-D. He has a great body. He used to play football. He was a Division I football recruit as well. Why not go to the draft right now, especially while your stock is still high, even after being hurt all year?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I know it makes sense to me. I mean, in hindsight, that entire region, because I remember I talked about how I thought Purdue could lose to maybe Memphis, and Memphis didn't even win, but Purdue didn't even make it out of the first round. I remember sitting there watching that game and just looking at Zach Edey just get mauled in the paint over and over again.
That was on a fault of both Purdue, in my opinion, like their coaching staff and just the officials. I mean, it was bright and clear as day that 3 seconds doesn't get called anymore in college, first of all. Second of all, the final 5 minutes of the game, Zach Edey never touched the ball. How do you have a 7'4" center when it's literally the battle of David and Goliath? Literally, FDU had in KenPom rankings had the lowest of all when it came to height and rebounds. How do you not have your 7'4" center get the ball? And I also think it's at fault over him. It's at fault of also having a freshman guard starting. Can't really win anything when having lack of experience in the college basketball as your guard.
Yeah, no, dude, it was. I mean, Zach Edey, he had 21, 15, and 3, but just wasn't enough. Austin, is there anything that you saw specifically that Purdue could have done, or they just stink without getting Zach Edey involved?
Where did they go? 5-26 from the 3-point line.
Yeah, I'll check it quick for you.
That wasn't a.
Yeah, you nailed it. 5 for 26. Yeah,
5 for 26. Wow, that's
brutal.
Insane. That's not. That's not. No, not going to.
That just won't win you games.
Yeah,
that's not going to get it done.
Not going to be successful.
No, and the crazy thing is that FDU shot 7 of 23. So it's not like they did much better.
No,
but it was unbelievable how they just could not capitalize. I mean, look at the play. Gillis was 3 for 10. Smith 2 for 10. Lawyer 4 for 10. There was no efficiency anywhere. There was no help. I mean, Eddie was 7 for 11. You're 7 for 10 on free throws, but I mean, someone else has to get involved. Basketball is not the sport where you can win big games. Like, you can win games, but you can't win the big games without a running mate or 2 running mates. you need a big three nowadays to really run, or at least a dynamic duo with solid role players. So
this is my question then for you,
yeah,
for both of you. Purdue's been bounced early in the past 2 years. Do they look at their coach and say,
probably
"We're
not.
done," or do you give them one more year? Be like, "Go get some great recruits, especially in the transfer portal, especially that over 900 kids entered the portal within 3 days. Figure it out next year. This is your last year, like to figure it out. If you don't get it, you're out."
The only problem is that he's been there for a long time, and he used to go there too. So in college, it's tough to get fired unless you're really bad, like
I mean,
really bad.
fair enough, but it like I think there's a certain point where Purdue's like it's in their best interest to get a new coach because there's a lot of these new coaches, young coaches, especially in the mid majors. Like you got Fordham's coach, Colgate's coach, like all these guys are like getting ready to take these prime jobs. When do you realize like it's time to move on? Because clearly Purdue hasn't done anything the past like recent years in the tournament.
No,
I think they still stick with him. My opinion.
I think they'll end up sticking with him too. I agree, Austin. I don't
Top
see
25 program. Stick with your coach.
Yeah, and they'll probably be good next year. And they won the Big Ten, which in my opinion doesn't really count anymore personally, but
Penn State won it, man, in my heart.
yeah. I was gonna say honestly, Purdue's Big Ten title fraudulent, doesn't count. Give it to Penn State; they deserved it more, especially since they were able to beat Texas A&M and advance to the round of 32, something that Purdue doesn't really know how to do. So
now that you brought up the Penn State game, let's bring up Penn State's little short-ended run. But hey, Penn State had a great year. I mean, that Texas game, even though they lost, they played them tough until the final 2 minutes.
Oh, they absolutely did. And I gotta give a shout out to Andrew Funk in the first game against A&M. Dropped 27, shooting lights out, man.
I gotta ask this. I've been seeing this all over Twitter. Lamar Stevens said this. Is Andrew Funk really an NBA player? 6'4", 6'5", can shoot the ball, but his shot selection is not smart. He makes the harder shots, but misses the wide open shots.
Second round pick at best. At best. Probably G Leaguer.
I mean, let's be real here. If you're not picked in the top 15, you're normally a G League player immediately.
It's not always true.
It's turning into it.
Not always. It's turning into it. But what do you think, Austin? Do you think Funk's worthy of a first or just a second round pick?
I mean, with him dropping 27, gives you a little eye opening, especially in the tournament. You do well in the tournament. It gives you a little bit more wiggle room for the draft.
That's fair.
A little bit more eyes on you.
The thing that hurts is that he went 2 for 10 the next game.
Yeah.
For 3.
Yeah.
So, but since it's not like Penn State choked it away, so most people will remember the other games. So that's in his favor.
Yeah.
I mean, like I said, I'd say second rounder at best, and then G Leaguer might find his way onto the roster if he gets drafted to a bad team like the Rockets, Spurs,
the Sixers,
Pistons. Yeah, okay. Yeah, probably the Knicks. Let's be honest here; they could use someone like him.
Continuing on.
But yeah, no, they it was a shame. They fought hard against Texas. Texas got a good program. I had them in the Elite Eight, so they're still alive. I think they could come out of that region. I hope they don't. I need Miami to come through. But we'll talk more about those specific teams later. But yeah, it's just painful because that was their first real run since 2010 or 11. One of those 2 years, I forget.
The last time Julius Peppers was on UNC, basically. That's what I remember.
Yeah. No, that was the last time they won. They were in the tournament before.
Yeah.
The last time they won was like 2002 or whatever it was. So, I don't know.
That is pain.
It's just pain in general. But let's move on to Princeton. Like, what is there even to say? I remember Antonio, you mentioned in the last podcast, man. You said
I should have gone my
I
gut.
picked it. I picked Arizona, but I could see Princeton winning, and well, what do you know? They won.
I should have taken my guts feeling and all that. I mean, there's something about these Ivy League schools. Like a lot of these players that go to them, it's like the academics. Like that's what makes them more inclined. Because a lot of these guys that normally go to the Ivy Leagues, they know they're not going to make it to the pros. So they're like, let me go get a great degree, but still play a sport I love. And when you watch the Ivy League, man, there are dudes on these teams like Jordan Dingle. I know Penn didn't make it, but he's a dude. Like he easily could transfer to a high major school next year. They are built, slapped up, and they play with a tough mentality. It's hard to beat these teams because they also play the right way. When you watch all these other teams in March Madness, like in the ACC, Pac-12, whatnot, it's all ISO players. Ivy League teams like to play team basketball, and I've said it since the beginning of the day. Team basketball always wins you games.
Absolutely, hero ball. But you don't always see hero ball winning in college. You don't really see that. You can kind of see it in the NBA more, but in college, it's very unlikely. I can't think of the last time a hero ball team won it all.
Duke that 1 year with Jahlil Okafor.
That's what I was thinking. That was the 1 year I was thinking. It was a 2015.
2015.
Yeah, that's what I had in mind too. But good for Princeton, man. I picked the wrong 15 over 2.
Yeah,
you know.
You want to talk about that?
No, not really. But hey, do you want to talk about Furman over Virginia, man?
Wait, before we talk about that, let the record show, Austin, you weren't here for the last episode. Steven had the audacity to say that UCLA would lose to UNC Asheville.
Drew Pember's like that. Just caught him on an off day. That's all it is.
When they lost by 30.
They lost by 33. What off day?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. An off day. That's what I mean.
She didn't pick Marquette though, like to get upset.
That was a hot line for some reason that kept on moving too much before the game.
Hey, you know what? Let's talk about Marquette in the second round against Michigan State and Tom Izzo led Spartans. Yay! I had Marquette in my Final Four. I was riding the Big East championship.
Shaka Smart, baby.
Yeah,
great coach. Great coach, Shaka Smart.
Go Rams, baby. VCU, baby.
They didn't even win. What are we on about?
Went to the Final Four with them. I mean,
oh, you mean back then?
Yeah.
Well, those days are
2011,
long
baby.
over. Losing to Tom Izzo's.
Tom Izzo, as much as like there's a lot of hatred behind him, Tom Izzo's a great coach. There's a reason why he's one of the most winning coaches in college basketball. He runs a great program, gets the guys he wants to fit his system, and lo and behold, they always make good runs in the tournament.
Exactly. Good teams, but great coaches.
It's not always about getting the 5 stars. It's about getting who fits your system.
Exactly.
Yeah, and they proved it there. I didn't even have Michigan State. I did not know Michigan State were them. I didn't realize that they were as good as they were. So shout out to Michigan State, unfortunately.
Also, what were you gonna say?
I think they go to the Final Four.
I could see that, but the one thing is, I think Kansas State still beats them just because I think they're better coached.
They are dirty. They are gross.
But the one thing I'll say, can we all agree? This year has shown the Big Ten is getting a lot more respect than they ever have when it comes to basketball.
Mm-hmm.
ACC teams are flying off the board like nothing. Big Ten teams are surviving.
But hey, I just want to say, I know I said Penn State, Big Ten champions in my book. I'll say Michigan State, unofficial runner-ups. You know, that's how I'm grading it in my scorecard for this past year. So I'll update the Wikipedia page. You know, you disagree? You don't think Penn State should have been the?
I mean, they had their opportunities, but also, if you ever watch that last play, I mean,
but did they lose to Fairleigh Dickinson?
Fair enough.
Oh Lord,
that's all I gotta say, man. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah.
But let's talk about Kansas State. We mentioned them before. Shout out to Keontae Johnson, man.
What a story!
Guy. What a story, man. Leading the way. This is he's the 5th year senior, I believe, right?
Yes,
he's his last year of eligibility. And now Kansas State has a good chance to come out of that region. I think we'll talk about our updated Final Four after we talk about the rest of the games. But spoiler, I got Kansas State coming out of this side. I think they got a lot of momentum. They got a good program right now, and there's no reason to not believe in them. Does anyone disagree? Or
For now, maybe not to the Final Four. I could see them winning, but we'll talk about that after. But I mean, hey, his story's unbelievable. He turned down $5 million in that protected insurance NCAA gives you.
Yeah,
He
that's
bet
insane.
on himself. I mean, I think we all have heard it. Like, there's a lot of people in the sports world that say, if you believe in what you could do, bet on yourself, and it'll pay off.
100%.
Lo and
yeah,
behold, I
so
mean, he just made one of the biggest shots in that game, and they're in the Sweet 16.
Step back three,
yeah.
baby.
That the Sweet 16's got some good matchups, and Michigan State and Kansas State being one of them. I'm definitely looking forward to watching that one for sure. Oh, I know a game we should move on to, unless you got another one on mind,
No, continue.
Antonio.
You got it.
What about Arkansas and Kansas?
Oh man, don't even get me started.
You had your Princeton over Arizona moment. I had my Arkansas over Kansas moment. I was like, I have Kansas in the final two, but if anyone's going to give them trouble, it's the Razorbacks. And would you look at that?
Kudos to Eric Musselman. I
Razorbacks.
mean, Musselman's finally doing it. He got a great recruiting class this past year, and they're playing great basketball with each other. But I do think UConn's gonna be a tough matchup for them now. I mean, they're senior led, and like we've said before, I mean, the tournament's all about who has the best experience. UConn got bounced early last year, but they went from being one of the unranked teams this year to winning 14 straight.
Yeah.
They beat St. Mary's, who's a 5 seed, pretty well. Who says they can't win the next one, right? They beat my upset, which was Rick Pitino's Iona, but that's another day.
Yeah, that was one you were very confident in. Freaking.
Hey man, I love Rick Pitino. He's a great coach in my opinion, but
whatever,
Hey,
what are your thoughts,
coach.
Austin? What's your thoughts on the Jayhawks and the Razorbacks?
I had him in the championship as well, so it's devastating.
Yeah,
hurt.
It's painful.
That one hurt. Losing by one.
I think it sucks for them that Bill Self is like day to day per se almost about if he's going to coach with them. Like not having your head coach for Kansas definitely hurts a lot. I mean, he's probably the guy that's been running the show all year. Not saying your assistants can't lead the way, but there's a difference in change when you hear your head coach call out a set and a play than your assistant. So, and like your head coach always has a better feel for how your team's playing, how to say certain things. So that's all. It's all right though. I mean, Kansas will be good again next year. They got a bunch of guys coming in, so they'll be fine.
Mm-hmm. So I think those are the biggest games pretty much that we could talk about. I mean, there's more games, but in terms of like the most interesting matchups, like I don't think Texas and Colgate's worth talking about. So let's move on to our updated Final Four. So we'll say what our Final Four was, and now we'll say what the updated one is after the Sweet 16 field has been revealed. So let's start with Austin. Who'd you have before in your Final Four, and who do you have now, seeing what you've seen so far?
So my Final Four, I had Bama, Marquette, Houston, Kansas. Shaka Smart let me down a little bit there, and the Jayhawks.
Yeah, me too.
So,
unfortunate.
Yeah. So
after seeing after seeing this past weekend, who do you got now?
After this past weekend, I see Tennessee and Michigan State fighting it off in that bracket down in the East, and I think Michigan State gets in the Final Four. I'm still riding with my Bama because I think I have Bama winning it all. So I got Bama and Michigan State. And I'm actually going to ride with you guys. I think Miami does pull off the upset in Houston. And I got Texas. I don't think Xavier's that tough. in my opinion. I got UConn Zags, and I think the Zags beat UConn, and I got Zags versus Texas, and I think it's going to be Zags Bama in the championship.
Okay.
Okay.
I
All
think
right.
I think Drew Timmy is. I mean, what I saw the last 5 minutes of that basketball game, he's a pretty good ball player. So
Yeah, he's a good college ball player. He is like the college ball player poster boy. You
You
know.
know, he knew he was making the right decision to stay in college rather than go to the NBA.
Yeah, nah, he's a second round pick behind Funk for sure. You know. So, Antonio, tell me about your Final Four and new Final Four.
So originally I had Alabama against the Blue Devils. I had Alabama losing to them and then Duke in the final. And then I had Texas against Kansas. Texas beating Kansas and going against Duke to lose to Duke. Which, may I add, with the transfer portal, it has shown the blue collar era is finally coming to an end. Blue blood is done for. You had UNC out, Duke's out, Kentucky, they stink. It's coming to an end. But now my new Final Four will be Alabama. I still believe in them. I mean, Brandon Miller is the best college basketball player right now. He's unbelievable. He's ready for the NBA, honestly. And I don't say that about a lot of freshmen, but he definitely is. I have them. Man, this is tough. I have them honestly going up against Kansas State. I really do like Kansas State's coaching methods. I like how they play team basketball. I have Miami upsetting Houston. I don't trust Houston. I can't think of the guy's name off the top of my head right now, but even if he's playing Sesser, yeah. He still is coming off a good injury. Like, it's not something to mess around with. But I have Texas beating Miami. I really like Texas a lot. Even though Chris Beard's not their coach right now, and obviously he just got hired by Ole Miss. But he set a format and style that they still use to this day, and it's clearly working. And then I got Gonzaga with the upset going up against Arkansas, and Arkansas makes the Final Four. And then my finals will be Bama against Miami. Bama takes it.
Okay. All right.
That'd be crazy.
Isaiah Wong led Hurricanes, baby.
Yeah.
I'd love to see it. So for me, I had pretty much similar to Austin. I had Bama, Marquette, Kansas, and Miami. I've been riding the Miami train for a while, and I'm still going to. I have the Hurricanes beating Houston, obviously. And then I have Texas beating Xavier, right?
Correct.
Xavier they play. Then I have the Hurricanes beating Texas, so they come out of the whatever region is top right on the bracket. Bottom right of the bracket is like toast for me because I didn't have UCLA winning. Oops.
Doofus.
Although, listen, man, I forget his name, but because he's hurt, and that's why I didn't think they'd win.
Jalen Clark, but but guess what? UNC Asheville. Have you ever heard of them until this year?
Yes, I've been a Drew Pember fan for a long time now. So,
where did he go to high school, man? Exactly.
Listen, man, that's sensitive information. We don't need to. You don't need to out him like that, all right? He's already dealing with the loss. We don't need to, send personal attacks at him, all right, man? That's just disrespectful, okay? But I got the Zags being UCLA because I never believed in them, and I still don't. So, yes, I'm biased. Deal with it. UConn, Arkansas. Oh, man, that's tough. Those are two good teams. I'm going to go with UConn, though.
It's a safe option.
It is. It's a safe option, and plus they're Ken Palm darlings, so but I do like them. And then I got UConn beating Gonzaga to advance to the Final Four. And of course, I still have Bama, coming out of the top left side. They're going to beat San Diego State. And then who's at the bottom of that bracket there? It's
Creighton, Princeton.
Yes, Creighton and Princeton. Yeah, give me Creighton. I think Princeton's runs over Creighton's another Palm darling, and I'm a big fan of them as well. Then still Bama beating Creighton, unfortunately. I wanted to put Creighton in the final, but I couldn't put them past Bama. And then to wrap it up, Kansas State over Michigan State. Give me Tennessee over FAU, and then Tennessee and Kansas State. That's probably going to be a great game.
That will be a great game.
I got Kansas State by 1, and then give me Bama over Kansas State, and give me UConn over Miami, and then Bama to win it all. So
UConn.
Yeah,
big UConn guy over there, huh?
Big UConn guy. Yeah, I should have had them coming out, man. I should have had. I would have picked Arkansas over Kansas and then UConn, but I was like, Kansas won it last year. Jalen Wilson's nice. They can do it again, maybe.
Okay, who do you have in your championship? Bama.
Bama and UConn.
Yep. No, not you, me. Bama and
my bad.
Bama, Miami.
Okay.
And yours was Bama and
Zaga.
Okay. So we're all big Bama guys.
Big Bama guys. Bama's going to win it all, everybody?
I'm pretty sure they're top 2 in Ken Palm right now. I hate believing in all those statistics, but it's clearly been shown. Like Ken Palm, whoever's the highest usually wins it. And then
on those.
Brandon Miller, he's just a dog.
So like the biggest upset next weekend, we all think is going to be in Miami.
Yes,
probably.
But I will say this: I will not be shocked if Princeton wins. Just saying.
You want to put it on the record again?
I am putting on the record because I really like Princeton. Gotta like Keyshawn Kellerman, man, Allentown native.
Yes, sir, man. Yes, sir. So that is coverage for college basketball. We got a little bit of time left, and when this episode comes out, the final for the World Baseball Classic will be confirmed right now. Mexico and Japan are playing each other. But I just wanted to quick ask Austin, who do you have winning the World Baseball Classic, the U.S. or whoever wins tonight? Be careful because you never know. If you say one thing, it could change.
Listen, if Japan wins tonight, which they're losing right now on the bottom of the 6th, 3-0 to Mexico, I think Japan wins it.
Really?
The Yu Darvish-led Japan team wins it? Well, they're saying he's probably not going to pitch.
Yeah, but with United States staff, the rotation, just the pitching, just nothing close to anything good, in my opinion.
That Japan has. Their hitting is insane. Trey Turner's on another level now.
Correct. But
he's
with
crazy.
Darvish and Shohei, I don't know. I'm sure Shohei will probably throw it in here too.
Darvish doesn't scare me. I'm not worried about him. And they also should not be scared of Merrill Kelly either. But I like the U.S. batting order more.
No, I agree, but I don't know.
Steve, as a Phillies fan, you should be excited about Trey Turner now.
I am ecstatic, my friend.
Yeah. What people don't understand, though, is people are still getting in the swing of things, too. I mean, these guys are throwing 85, 90, 92. They're not like.
You're making that sound like it's chump change, dude.
He's pumping 102, my friend. He's ready.
It's not like they're not facing the Major League Baseball guys. They're facing some minor league guys. They're facing some. There's some people are still figuring it out, in my opinion. That's why people are like, oh, Mike Trout is looking like Mike Trout. Well, yeah, no duh, because he's facing guys that are throwing 92, 93, not like Justin Verlander in the World Series or something like that.
Well, what about Mexico?
You tell me I got a chance, man.
Everyone has a chance.
Say no more.
It's just not a good chance.
Give me a bat. Let's go.
Oh boy. just cancel the final then, man. Just cancel. It's over. Just give it to the actual finals tonight then, man. The actual finals tonight.
Give me a bat. It's over.
But if Mexico gets in there, the United States without it, hands down. But I don't know. I think Japan plays a little bit harder. I don't know. Something about that Japan team. And even talking to one of my coworkers / coaches last year. Steve Klein, former Major League Baseball player, even before World Baseball Classics even started, during the pool, during the pool play, he had Japan winning it all. So I'm actually going to ride with him. I think Japan wins it all too, even when they're down losing 3-0.
Yeah, he doesn't know what he's talking about. But anyways, no, I'm just kidding.
Oh yeah, I hope he sees
man.
it.
Mr. Klein, I know you literally know way more about baseball than I do, but unfortunately, I said
That's real
so.
here. We all do.
So no. All right, man. Let's not get carried away here. Let's not get carried away. All right. But yeah, Mr. Klein, I respectfully am rooting for the USA, and I think they will win. No, I'm sure he's rooting for them as well, but I am picking
Absolutely
I am picking the USA to win. I project that Trey Turner will hit 16 home runs. And but I predict he will hit a home run. That is my bold prediction. He will hit a home run, a meaningful one, in the middle innings to late innings. So that's my bold prediction.
Hot take.
Put it on the record, man. On the record.
Hot take. I know this is right now live. I think Ohtani hits game-winning home run tonight.
Okay. All right, we'll see. He is 9:18 Eastern Standard Time on a Monday night, and currently Japan is still down 3-0 and is going to be the top of the seventh. So he's not saying this after the fact. This is a 100% genuine take, and if it hits, this man knows ball. Yep, he knows ball.
Shohei's gonna hit one.
Yeah. We shall see. Do you have we got bold predictions here, Antonio? Do you have a bold prediction of your own? Whether it could be for tonight's game or tomorrow's.
I'm riding it out with my country, man. Let's go USA, bro. That's all I'm saying.
For sure.
Not really a bold hot take, but I appreciate the enthusiasm, bud. Thank you.
I mean, hey, from what I'm seeing, I don't watch it enough to really give a good, valid explanation or anything. But what I'm seeing, Trey Turner's the man, dude. He's him.
Yep. Antonio knows ball.
Going back on basketball, without Bama, biggest upset. Who are you going to be surprised winning the championship? Miami?
Okay, that's interesting. Who would be? Yeah.
Well, yeah, but
a more realistic pick. I see what you're going for.
Princeton.
What? Princeton?
Okay, Princeton. Fine. We gave him an out, and he didn't take it. Okay.
I'm not taking the out. Let the record show. I think Princeton can win it.
Princeton can win
it.
That'd be crazy.
It's basketball, man. It's basketball in March.
Okay.
Who do you got?
For my shocker pick, give me Arkansas.
Arkansas winning it all?
That's a good one,
my
actually.
underrated shocker pick. Yeah.
Okay.
Who do you got?
I'm going to take Michigan State.
I like that one.
I feel like Steven just can't say Michigan State. Like, he just can't get the words out of his mouth.
Listen, man, there's nothing wrong with the Spartans, you know? Tom Izzo-led team from the north. So, well, I think that's going to wrap it up for tonight. Thank you all for listening to the CloudZeroSports podcast. Please be sure to follow us on Twitter on CloudZeroSports and the CloudZeroSports book as well. We're going to be posting more pics. More tweets are going to be going out. Be on the lookout for more TikTok videos as well. Follow us on all platforms. We appreciate the support as always and hope everybody has a great night or evening.